Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a new knife to show you from Spearhead Knives. This is the larger version of the Crimson Edge. Sounds like a superhero. The Crimson Edge. I believe you would have seen a previous video of mine on the smaller version. You can see some cool stickers here modeled after the knife, which is really interesting. I like that. And then there is this little tool in here. I wonder what that could be for. Proprietary hardware. And then we have this little fishy pouch. Leather pouch and the knife, dude. Look at this thing. Absolutely sexy. So this one has a mother of pearl inlay. Look at that. Mother of pearl inlay. And then zirconium accents. And a unusable pocket clip. So I will be talking about this pocket clip for a minute, but I'm going to get there. There is a reason for that. So I will explain. But here you go. Take a look at it. The Crimson Edge. I think it's a really sexy looking knife. This is a Chinese brand. So Spearhead Knives is a Chinese brand, and then I believe they use an OEM to make the knife. That's what I think is the scenario. And to me, it's kind of like, it feels like the Chinese version of what we call like custom CNC knives. CNC customs is what I call them, like the, what am I trying to say? Like the Roosevelt and Koenig and stuff like that. Brown knives, the higher end of CNC knives. Not like big batch CNC knives, like, tactile knives, I would say is more big batch style. These are, I think, smaller batches. And so you can call them small batch CNC, something like that, right? The action is excellent. You have a front flipper, works really well. You have those studs, works really well to thumb flick and reverse flick. I did notice there is a little bit of something going on with this inlay. I don't know if you can hear it. I'll put it up to the mic. Do you hear that clicking? So it can like shift back and forth. I noticed when I like touched it once that it kind of was like clicking. You can kind of tap it. So I don't know if it just wasn't glued down well enough or what. But it does look like there's a screw in there, under there. Under where, Kev? So maybe it's... Oh, it didn't cut myself, so we'll check that. We'll check the sharpness. Maybe we need to take it apart and take a look at that inlay, but I don't think they're going to be screwed in. But maybe it's just held in by a plate. Like, so maybe it's supposed to be a little looser. Like, it's not glued or anything. It's just laid in, and then that plate in there, and the screws hold that down and presses this in. That would be my guess looking at it, but I could be wrong. Man, that action is really good. So I don't remember if this is a bigger version or a smaller version. I think they said this was 175 millimeters. So that's the size. I sort of remember a smaller knife though. So I think this is a larger one, even though it's still not like a huge knife or anything. So you can see that action is really good. It's dead centered. Just a little bit of play. I don't feel any up and down, just a little side to side, so we can check the pivot. And you know what? I think we will take it apart just because why not? Why not? So let's see. This little tool should go into that little triangle. Now, I always am a little bit skeptical when you get a tool like this and then you see that there's actually a spinning pivot. like the tooling is the same on both sides. So unless there's a captive notch or something inside, which is possible, then I need 2 tools, not 1. But we'll see. So I'm just trying to tighten it a little bit, see if I can get that play out. Got a little bit out. There's still some there. So some of that play might be built in. We'll have to check on that. But you can see the action's pretty good. Detent feels solid. There is a, looks like a tab lock. Let me just confirm. Yeah, it's a tab lock, so it's not a liner. It's not a liner lock, it's a tab lock, basically. So that it's not a full-sided liner with a lock bar on it. It's just a tab that is mounted in there that acts as the lock bar. That's my favorite kind of lock. It's my favorite kind of lock. I mean, frame lock, liner lock, whatever. The tab lock is the best, in my opinion, because you get to keep the scales lightweight. It's, I think, the hardest one to pull off engineering-wise. No lash or anything. I love the design. I mean, there's all this stuff going on with the handle. It's actually pretty comfortable in hand still. You do have these kind of little raised areas, these little points right here. So depending on your hand, it might not be perfect. No jimping down the spine, but there is some back here up until the thumb studs. They did tell me that the thumb studs are not Loctited because they're going to be offering different studs. So as you can see here, I can loosen those. They do look really cool. I like the looks of them. But yeah, they're going to be offering like Zircuti, Timascus, probably crystallized tie, stuff like that. So you could pick those up. Just a very well-built knife. Now, the clip. Let's talk about this pocket clip, okay? So, when I got this, I noticed that it is obviously a god-awful pocket clip. So, not only is it basically have no clearance at all, it also has like a point in there. There's a point in there as the contact. So even if you could get that in your pocket, it's going to grab the shit out of it. Well, what I suspected is the case. This is a Chinese brand, and they actually mostly sell their knives in the Asian market, okay? So in the Asian market, people don't carry knives with pocket clips because you're not allowed to carry knives, I don't think. So they have the knives in their house or whatever, and if they do carry it, they drop it in their pocket or a slip or something like that, right? It's not because this knife is fancy and it should go in a leather slip or something. Then they would have just not had the clip at all. But the clip is basically for show, right? To give it that knife look, right? That American knife look. But nobody's actually going to use the clip in Asia, so they don't need to make it functional. So they just make it really low so that it's ergonomic. It doesn't impede any ergonomics or anything, but you get the aesthetic of the clip. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So they did tell me that they are working on a pocket clip that will work, like a good one. So the next batch of these that comes out will have a functional clip. So what I would say is, for those of you who are looking at buying one of these in the US market, just keep that in mind. If you don't mind the clip and you're just going to put this in a slip or pocket drop it or keep it around the house and you're not carrying it, then get this one, right? But if you are somebody who really needs a pocket clip, then I would say wait until they come out with a version with the usable pocket clip. So it's Spearhead EDC knives. And it looks like they have it on their website right now. So Crimson Edge Spearhead Mini Folding Knife, $329. $349 for the 7-inch. I think that's what we're looking at here. And then they have a Zircuti version, and they have a mother of pearl. They're the same price. So I would just go Zircuti right away. I'm not a mother of pearl guy. Plus that Zircuti might fit a little bit better. But here's some information on it. If you want to pause and read or screenshot any of this stuff, go for it. Here's some specs. Okay. Let's take this thing apart and see how that inlay works. If I can take it apart. So let's see which side would come apart. So you have a screw head here, you have a screw here, but it's a Chicago screw. No, it's not. What the hell? Oh, so that screw, no, where the hell does that screw go? I don't know. Is that just an internal screw only? That's really weird. So I'm going to take it apart from this side because you have the clip screws, and maybe I can, I don't know, we'll see. Let's just see if we can get it apart. Because not only is this a proprietary tool, it's also a skinny, you know, rod. Makes it hard to get a grip on. I felt like I was turning something there. Yeah, like, that hurts. This part's stabbing me in the palm. This is not my favorite method of disassembly. Is there something I am missing? Like, should I be doing it differently? This isn't going to fit into any driver, so I would have much preferred if they made me a little 1/4-inch bit with this on it. Then I could have used it, you know, in a regular driver. I think I got it. Oh, that really sucks. That is not fun. I think I got it. Ugh. Okay. So, there's actually a pivot collar and then that screw. I didn't even notice that. So that's a collar. That's pretty cool. I like that. Alright, so the knife did not come apart. So let's see what happens when we take this clip off. Alright, that was much easier. Well. Oh. So that's the Chicago screw there. So now this thing comes out. That's cool. I like how they did that. Nice engineering there. So do I need to take the other one apart? Or is it just holding the liner? Yeah. All right. So that one's just holding the clip to the scale. It's not holding the liner at all. So that's nice though, because it keeps the clip on while you're messing around here, if you want to mess around. So we do have, let's check out the bearings while we're here. We can get our test fit card from Skiff. Maybe if we have them, we can throw some Skiffs in too. So they look to me like 5 mil 1/16, but we'll see. So 5 millimeter, sorry, 1/16 size balls. Just check the lower one. Nope. So 1/16. And then the pivot, the way you check the pivot is you take this card and you lay the pivot on. It's going to be a 5 millimeter. So it's a 5 millimeter 1/16. And hopefully the ones I have, well, actually, I don't think we need to change these because these are a solid cage anyway, right? I don't see the point. Plus, I'm going to pass this around, so I'd rather pass it around in its original form. So, let's take a look at, we can just get the rest of this apart if we can and see what's going on here. Can I see if there's a captive system? Feels like it's locked in there, so like it's not coming out. I don't think it's because it's tight. I think it's because maybe there's some kind of captive thing going on. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just tight. And it does look like that screw is slightly loosened, which is never good when it comes to this kind of setup. Yeah, I can turn that. Hold on. I can just take this screw out. Let me see what's going on here. Just to give my... Yeah, see, there is a D shape. That's good. So the D shape means one side is not gonna spin. So this one tool is fine. That's fine. So I'm glad we looked at that because, you know, I don't want to be talking shit if they did do it properly. Same screw there, so I'm not going to hurt anything. What I would normally do is clean this off. I am going to look at that inlay, so don't let me forget, guys. Let me clean these off. I got to use the proprietary tool. I mean, I like how solid this tool is. You just have to have a decent amount of hand strength. If you're somebody with weaker hands, you're probably not going to want to mess with this. Unless you have something, maybe Knipex pliers or something you could grab this with to get good torque on it. But, oh, see, I slipped out there. Marred up the zirconium a little bit. I don't know why. They could have just used Torx, but whatever. Trying to be fancy, and it does look good, so gotta give them credit there. And it wasn't impossible to get the knife apart, so. Okay, clean those off. Where's that barrel? Clean this sucker out a little bit. Now I need something smaller. Need like a T6 or a little Phillips or something. So what I'm doing is trying to get the Loctite out of there. Because the Loctite is the reason why it was hard for me to loosen it. So I'm going to see how easy it is to tighten this down all the way. And that wasn't too bad. I'm also going to wait and make sure the centering and everything is good with it tight. But I'm thinking about gluing it. But now I'm thinking I'm just going to put some Loctite on there. So let's do that, and we can put that back together. If you guys are wondering where to get this test fit card so you know what bearings to get, it's Skiff Made Blades, skiffworkshop.com as well. And you can use code LeftyEDC. That'll get you 10% off your order. They also sell the finger bit, which makes it super easy to work with a spinning barrel or pivot. And of course they have Skiff bearings, which is what they specialize in. They make the best ones in the industry, hands down. So, what I need to do, if I'm going to Loctite this, I think, is put it back in the handle. So I got to find the D-shaped side. That's this side. Okay, so let's look at this first. Backspacer is nice, pretty skeletonized, thin backspacer. Very cool. Here is that inlay. So what I was saying is, it looks like this is Torx. So grab a T6. And yeah, it's like very... So I'm wondering if it's loose. I'm going to find out what's going on here. So that plate comes out, and there it is. Okay. So it is not glued in, is why that is happening. You can see there's a lip around it. Let me zoom in on that for you. So there's a lip around the outside of the inlay. Okay. And then this just drops in there like that. But it has a little bit of give on each side. And then this plate, obviously, is holding that down. But even with it fully tightened, there is, let me see, a little bit of movement in there. So I'm wondering how I could maybe add a little bit of Loctite around these edges, and then clean it up after. That's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. And we'll see if that works. I have no idea if it will. So, sorry. Let's see if we can't figure this out. Might look kind of ugly at first, but I think I could clean it up enough that it'll be fine. And then maybe the Loctite will take up that space. There's probably something better for this that I'm not thinking. Lube maybe, but I don't know if the lube would actually help with the spacing, right? So drop it in like that. Actually, I won't clean up this side, I don't think, because maybe that'll help a little bit of extra Loctite here. I mean, I could technically just glue it too. I could use super glue, but don't necessarily want to do that just yet. So then we lay this down. Oops. We lay this down. Like some of that Loctite crept through here too. Want to be a little careful because I don't want to Loctite the shit out of those screws. You know what I mean? But looks like there's just a little, so it should be fine. I don't see any on this one. Steel screws on this. You can see it's got like a dab of Loctite on it, which is fine with me actually. Get this one. If you're never sure if you're cross-threading, you just want to rotate backwards, counterclockwise, till you feel a click. And then you know you're starting the threads. Try to be careful here. I don't want to go too tight until I hit a wall. Wall, okay. I think I will clean up this side. And then we'll see what's in here. If we have a little bit of blue around the edge there, but that should be fine. Take some alcohol and get that, but let me see. Yeah, see, I still have movement. But maybe it'll cure in there and then it'll be solid. Should be better though. Yeah, we don't have the tapping at least. So I got rid of the tapping. That's really what bugged me. I'm not going to sit there and move it back and forth. You know what I mean? But the tapping stuff, I can't stand tapping. All right. So then we're going to take our pivot and we're going to put it through here. Notch it in to that D shape, right? And then we're going to get our screw, pivot screw, drop our, oh wait, yeah, let me check. I guess this is the right collar. The collar has a D shape too. Let me check that. Nah, collar is just circular. Both of them are like that, so, all right. So let me see if that stays in there, but I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on this screw because I want this one not to move. So I'm actually going to put a good bit on here. This one we don't want to really come out ever. So it's okay if you overdo it on this one, I think. As long as we can get it centered before it cures, we're good. Just tightening it down. I'm going to take this. It should work with it tight, but sometimes you got to back off to get it centered, and that might be what the case was here and why we had that little bit of play no matter what. See if I can go any tighter. No, that's it. It's tight. Okay. So I'll push it through. All right. There we go. I'm just going to clean these bearings off real quick. We'll use our Carbon Honey lubricant because, in my opinion, it's the best lube you can get right now. You can check out Carbon Honey. I don't have a code or affiliate or anything. They sent me some samples when I asked, but that's it. And I think you guys should check it out. I think it's the best stuff. So I have the thick kind. Use that, and it's unscented. You can get it with a scent if you want, but you can get it unscented, which is fantastic because I really don't like the smell of lubes and oils and stuff. So put a little dot right here, nice thick stuff. That'll be good for the, so she said that'll be good for the detent ball here. Clean that off too. There are little washers in here to protect the titanium. That's good. And then I'm going to use the thin. They put a little ball in here. See if you can get a look at it. Can you see that? There's a bearing in there that helps, I guess, mix it up, or I don't know what it does exactly, but I like that it's there. I just squeeze it onto my finger. Too much is fine. And then I roll it, flip it, roll it, drop it on, do the same thing. So I'm not using all of it, but I'm making sure these are coated. And then I'm going to put the blade on here. And then I'll wipe my hands off. While we're here, I'm going to check the liner screws, make sure these are tight. Yep, those are all tight. That's all T6 inside of there, just if you're wondering. But here's what I'm talking about with the tab lock. So it's literally just this tab piece, and that is your lock bar. I like how they did this. I like that they made it like a candy cane shape. And that way it's kind of locked in over here too. The tab locks in over here, and it locks in here. Keeps it nice and sturdy, I think, which is really smart. Stop pin up here. Let me clean that. It looks gross. My theory is you might as well clean stuff, whatever you can while you're in there. You never know what could cause another problem later. It's funny, there's threads right here. I don't know what thread's in there. Is it backspace? No. Might be, that might have been for machining purposes or something. I don't know. So there is a little pin that goes through the backspacer. So just to be safe, I'm going to put a dot of Loctite in each of these holes too. I do that because pins can rattle, guys, if they're a little loose. And the worst thing in the world is you put a knife together after all this nonsense and you Loctite it or glue it, and then you're like, fuck, there's a rattle. You know, that's the worst. So I just preempt all that shit. It's not going to hurt anything if there isn't a rattle, you know. So we lost a pin already. Yeah. Let me pop this on. I'll put this pin through. Pop that in. Oh. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of these pins for backspacers. I like barrels. Barrels are a lot easier. So what I'm going to do actually is take them out and put them in. That one's being weird on them. Don't think it would be my Loctite being too taking up too much space in there. It's got a little wobble to it. It's a little weird. Let me lay this down. Be a lot easier if this was the side I was laying the scale on, but whatever. Just flip it like this. There's no D shape on this side, so we should be good. Everything pops together, I think, like that. Close it. And then this one was in here. And then this barrel goes through here and into there, which is pretty dang snazzy. The barrel has an interesting shape to it. Doesn't look like that shape really mattered, though. It just went in. So, I don't know. Drop that on. Then we're going to get some Loctite on this pivot screw. And this one we're going to use less. It looks like they use red, but I know sometimes in different countries, different colors are different, so it might not be red Loctite. That's way too much. There we go. Okay. See if I can start it with my hands. Avoid using this. All right. And tighten this down. And we'll find out what I forgot or missed or whatever. Centering is perfect. Let's see how the action is. There is still a little bit of play. Very minor, but the action is even better. Man, that carbon honey, dude. That carbon honey, man. Clean this off. I got a little bit of oil, Loctite, whatever. Let me see if I can crank this a little bit. I still had a little bit of room to crank there, so let's see. Okay, now we are nice and tight. And we still have very good action. It's not as good, but I like where you have to give it a little shake. Detent looks good. Fires out. Clean this. We got to check sharpness too. But yeah, there's no play there. And it's already, yeah, broken in. So I don't want to play with it too much because I want it to cure in this position. There's a little bit, it looks like, of marring on this zirconium from that tool. Let's see if I can get rid of that. If it's just shit or if it's actual marring or a chip or something. Yeah, it looks to be a little chippage on the screws, and that's what happens when you slip out or whatever. Doesn't have the deepest engagement. I mean, it's not bad by any means, but you can see there's still plenty of tool there. They could have went deeper with the triangle, but whatever. It's good. I'm just, you know, nitpicking everything I can here. Dead centered. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. So this is a case where taking it apart, cleaning it, and doing a little bit of TLC on that inlay, I think is going to make the knife better. So I'm glad I went in there. Sometimes, you know, you go in and you do some stuff and then you regret it. It doesn't feel the same after. This feels even better. So some people will say you shouldn't have to, you know, whatever. I get that. And you didn't have to do anything. But I felt the need to look at this inlay. And then I figured we'd take a look at the inside. So that was kind of fun. Let me know what you guys think of that. I just noticed there's like a hole under here. Let me show you. Underwear? Under the clip. See? Is that a hole or is that just milling? Oh, it's just the milling. I don't know why it looked like a hole to me. So it's just milling. That's interesting. See, if that clip was functional, they would have stopped that milling, right? So let's see. Do I have any cardboard left? Oh, did I throw it all? Well, let's see if it cuts this. Okay. Ugh. That was the front edge. back edge, yeah, doesn't feel super sharp. Do I have anything? Let me just grab something to cut real quick. All right, so I have this label. So it seems like the front half of this grind is sharp, but this is not sharp, is what I'm getting from that. It's kind of, watch, it slides up and then cuts. That's interesting. The front edge, not cutting very well there. All right, let's try regular paper now. Just printer paper. Yeah, so it's not very sharp from factory. They need to do a better job on their factory sharpening, I would say. I mean, we could try real quick. I'm not an expert on this. Let's see if maybe a strop helps at all, but I doubt it. It's also difficult to get the edge down because of the thumb stud there, but I could, I guess. Comes right off. Since it's not Loctited right now, take that off. Okay. So, yeah, so it did not, I mean, it's not going to make something sharp that's not sharp. It did help a little bit with the front portion of that edge. It's not tearing as much. It's cutting a little cleaner now. But you got to hit the right spot, you know. And then this front part is just, you know. So, I mean, if you're using the tip for something or whatever, it's going to be fine. But, yeah, it seems like it's going to need to be sharpened probably. I'm guessing that, again, this is going to be probably something related to the fact that their market is mostly in Asia. I'm guessing that they don't really use the knives that much for their intended purpose. It's probably more of a fidget and a cool thing to have, would be my guess. I could be wrong. I'll ask them about that. But, so that's something they also need to work on along with the pocket clip, would be the factory sharpness. But, I mean, they have the machining down. You got to give them credit for the machining. It's very, very good. I do think they could do a little work on the inlay, maybe make it a little tighter, glue it, and then use the plate in case the glue comes loose or whatever. I like that concept, but I need it to be a little bit sturdier in there, you know. It aesthetically looks fantastic. The tab lock is fantastic. The action is fantastic. The lockup is really good. Now that I tweaked it, it seems like what happened was originally, it looks like I got some that Loctite on there from the stop pin maybe. I'm thinking what happened was when they originally set this knife, they didn't tighten that screw that goes onto the D-shaped side. Yeah, it's Loctite. They didn't tighten that screw enough. And that's why there was play. So you could tighten down the other side, and you would think that it was all the way tight and just had play, but it really wasn't all the way tight. So, yeah, some little things there that I think are part of a learning curve, but my guess is they're gonna get that down because they seem eager to get into the U.S. market, and those things will definitely help them. So I would also say jimping up and around the flipper tab would be really nice. A good example of that would be a knife I just reviewed from BMK Knives, or BMK Designs, I think. This is the Ether. This is a knife on pre-order right now. Check out my video on that for more info, but look at that flipper tab. Jimped all the way up and goes around the top. Nice, aggressive, tight jimping. Where this one goes up and then it has that like point, and then that's it. So you want to have some jimping up here so you can, even if you're grabbing like at the edge here, you're still going to get enough traction. But yeah, I really like the action. I like the aesthetics a lot. And I like the people. You know, I've chatted with them a little bit on Instagram. I know they sent these out to Jared Neves. I know they sent one to Tri-State because he's in the little group chat I'm in. They sent one to Sever7. Check out Derek at Sever7. Newer channel. Good dude. Definitely check him out. And yeah, they seem like they're willing to take feedback. And I appreciate that in a brand. And I want to make sure I provide that feedback so you guys also know what's going on, and then so they can get better. I think that's a win-win. And I'll pass this around so other guys can check it out as well and give their feedback too. But seems like a hollow grind on the back here. I'm not positive, but I think so because it's a little rounded here. Usually the rounding there means it was done with a wheel. But a little hard to tell here. Yep. Shallow hollow grind, but still a hollow grind. And really digging that action. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments of the Crimson Edge, the larger version. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. But there you go. Disassembly, overview, unboxing. I mean, you can't ask for more there, huh? Let me know. Oh, you know what? Maybe I did put that one in wrong. Let's double check this real quick. Where's that little guy? There it is. So I said that this Chicago screw doesn't go in a certain way, but look, it's proud right now. So I'm thinking, let me show you what it looks like. The barrel is triangular or whatever. It has a D shape. So let me figure out if it goes in a certain way. So you put it in that way, it sticks out this far. Put it in this way, that far. Oh, now it's just sticking out. Let me turn it as I push. There, popped in. But no, I had it right. It just sticks up a little bit, I guess. I don't think it's going to change when I tighten this down, but we'll see. Nah, so that's just how it's meant to be. Okay. Still centered. Still, yep. No play. All right. Great action on these things. I love you guys. Shout out to Spearfish EDC. Check out their website. I'll link it in the description. I do not have an affiliate link or anything. They did send me this for review, so I did not pay for this. Please keep that in mind. But obviously, I'm not just giving it a glowing review. I had plenty of critiques on it. But definitely check out their website for any other stuff or to pick one of these up if you like. And stay tuned. Hopefully they'll let me know about the updated one with the pocket clip. And hopefully they can update the factory edge too. And I think if they do those two things, this thing's going to be really good. So let me know if you have any questions. I love you guys. Hope you have a fantastic day. And I will catch you later.